Welcome. Today we reflect on the Gospel of St. Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but underneath are ravenous wolves. By their fruits you will know them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? Just so every good tree bears good fruit, and a rotten tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a rotten tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit will be cut down, thrown into the fire. So by their fruits you will know them." The Gospel of the Lord. As I reflected on this Gospel, the obvious attraction, for me at least, was the idea of bearing good or bad fruit. Maybe that reflects my cultural bias. I'm always looking at the bottom line. What are the results? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but they're apparently beyond my control. They result from the friendship, from the relationship, from the people involved. And those things, except perhaps in a minor way concerning myself, I have very little control. I don't control other people or their goodness or how they share their friendship with others. What came to mind were two people in my life. One was a guy I went to grade school with, and his anniversary of death is coming up next week, which is probably why he's on my mind. And he died in his 80s. And I thought to myself, at the time of his death, our relationship, our friendship was over 70 years. Kind of hard to believe. And yet it was something I wouldn't have dreamed of back in grade school. It just kind of happened. We kept contact in high school. I went away to seminary college. He got a job, married, or I should say met the woman he was going to marry. And I was ordained in June. He was married in August of 1961. And over the years, we just remained in contact. He had 5 children, 13 grandchildren. There are the fruits. Still in touch with his wife, still friends. Things have changed for both of us. The children have children, and pretty soon they'll be marrying and having children. How did that happen? It's all gift. The second one was a priest friend. I was assigned in 1964 to teach high school. In July that summer, I was living above the school, and there were 4 people, 4 priests still there during the summer, going to school, summer school. I was back. And one of the priests and I, by default, became friends. By that I mean we just were the only 2 there in terms of relationship and age. And I look back, and that relationship has gone on for over 50 years. He too passed on. But the results of the friendship are very much part of my life, and I'm so grateful. But how did it happen? Was it by design that I picked those people Did I indicate that I was going to spend so many years cultivating the relationship? Not really. What I learned is that I responded to opportunities, that in some way or another, perhaps unconscious, I was attracted and open to these people, and through them to many other people. Looking back, I say now, I'm so much better as a human being because of their example, because of their faithfulness, because of their trust, because of their waiting for me, perhaps to grow up or to be mature. Sometimes I think their waiting was in vain. But the point is that they were there. And I was fortunate enough, without consciousness particularly for the most part, to respond to that. There were moments in those years when I was keenly aware of how grateful I was. But most of the time, it went from event to event, months and years, and occasionally, like this one, stopping and reflecting and remembering how blessed. That's what I think this reflection means in Matthew's gospel. That the gift is there, the seeds are planted, and most of them, if not all of them, are gifts. That God reminds me that He is love, and that if I'm to be conscious of His presence and the result of His friendship, the fruits of His presence and love, then I have to be conscious occasionally of the gifts of people who touch my life, who are my friends, who love, who will give and share. And hopefully, in that reflection, I realize I do the same thing. And there I grow. There I respond. And there I become a better person and even a better friend to others. If I went back, could I have planned it? Nah. My track record isn't that good. Most of the time, when I'm planning something, it almost never works out. I'm a little too obvious. But when I respond, when I look back, when I take time, when I become aware of God's presence and action in my life, I'm more likely to be aware of it the next time. I'm more likely to be open. I'm more likely to be patient in my waiting and to open not so much to immediate results, but to the long-time investment of who I am with who those people are, and then occasionally stop and realize the results are more than worth it. And so today I thank God for the gift of those two men, but all the results of their relationship. And I hope that I stay open to people, that I not close down, but that God is still active. God has His plan. I just don't know what it is yet, but maybe that's what today is about. I hope you have a good day yourself, that you continue to pray for one another. God bless.